So once again, hello and welcome. My name is Pamela Erickson, and this session is a brief 30-minute session on NoveList for Readers Advisory using NoveList Plus in the Discus profile. You may have wondered what the EBSCO acronym stands for. It stands for the Elton B. Stevens Company, and it's been around for over 70 years. I'm Pamela, and I'm a librarian and training specialist with EBSCO Information Services. And you can see my email contact information on this page. We have a few brief slides of introduction, and then we'll be searching live in NoveList and also showing you the NoveList page from our support site. So that's exactly what this says. Some basic and advanced searching will be conducted, as well as looking at our new and updated, it's about 6 months old actually, support site. If you've seen the URL support.ebsco.com, that's changed to help.ebsco.com. When you leave the session, our training evaluation form will appear, and after you exit the WebEx session, it'll pop up, and there's about 5 questions. We value your input on our sessions, we the trainers at EBSCO, so please take a moment to fill that out, and thank you in advance. Now, a few details. NoveList is fiction for all ages and grades, and NoveList Plus is nonfiction and fiction for all ages and grades. And you can see on this chart, when we focus on NoveList Plus, we are focusing on all ages, including, and this may be new to you, but including audiobook recommendations with audiobook specific limiters on the advanced search page. So as we work through this session, I'll point out some highlights that you might want to jot down and maybe return to and try on your own. But the key here is fiction and nonfiction for all ages, including audiobook recommendations. Now, Discus does have the K-8 profile, so keep in mind too that when we say the age group kids, that's birth through teens, no adult content there, and the fiction and nonfiction will support curriculum in schools. So you can search math and biology and find recommended titles that perhaps you want to add to your collection or that you have in your collection. But these are great to remember that curriculum integration can occur with NoveList K-8 Plus because of the nonfiction component. We'll start here today at www.ebscohost.com/novelist. That's the new NoveList page, and it's just beautiful in all that it offers, from the novice using NoveList for maybe the very first time to the very advanced and power user of NoveList. This training is customized for Discus, and we're offering a variety of trainings upcoming. But I wanted to also mention that we offer 70 classes per month that are open to all. You can see the listings and times at training.ebsco.com. I mentioned the training evaluation, which you can always use on a recorded session as part of the on-demand series or the live sessions as well. And finally, our corporate site to get more information about all of your EBSCO products at www.ebscohost.com. So if you're just joining the session, welcome. My name's Pamela, and after this slide, we will be looking at the NoveList page and then into NoveList Plus because of our quick time span of about 30 minutes today. And I wanted to just mention that engaging your patrons throughout the library. So every staff member can have a role in Readers Advisory. And Readers Advisory is simply connecting people with books that they'll love to read, people of all ages. So this statement, tell me about a book you've read and enjoyed, elicits a response from your readers, your patrons. Are they telling you something about setting that's important to them, or about a title they loved, a series, a character, an author? You can use their responses to start searching in NoveList Plus. So if I have asked my patron a question and he or she says, I love to read detective stories set in New York, or in South Carolina. You can add those terms and start searching and finding titles that will your readers will be able to connect with. Okay, so let's go ahead and just change screens here. This just takes a moment, and I'll be with you here to share this screen. And this will be the NoveList page. So I'll give that URL one more time. You can see it at the top of your screen. Please jot this down. It's www.ebscohost.com/NoveList. And in ending up on this page, you can see there's an Idea Center. We're going to come back to that in just a second. There's always updated trends and news here. This is updated on a regular basis, sometimes more than once a week. You can look at the latest articles, including linked data, which this is describing. You can look back with Duncan Smith, the founder of NoveList. And up at the top, the latest also newsletters that you can sign up for. And please come back to this and check out a variety of newsletters that you can receive email from the NoveList team on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. And the Idea Center has the evaluation portion, promote, learn, inspire, and educate. So you'll probably want to come back and look at what this has to offer your site, whether it's promotional, learning opportunities, creative ideas for promoting reader services. You see, we have a group, a large NoveList team, including many librarians, who are constantly getting feedback from libraries all over the world and sharing articles and trends that they develop on the NoveList team here in the NoveList site. So matching readers and books using appeal factors, or maybe it's 10 tips for newbies, NoveList newbies. Then you'll see NoveList 101, kind of getting started with NoveList. There are a variety of fantastic 1-minute YouTube tutorials. There are cheat sheets and strategies for searching. And then for power users, there's NoveList 201, meaning gems in NoveList, advanced searching with field codes, which we won't get in today. So if you're interested in that, please come back to that, and the power users videos. Quickly, we'll just look at this and encourage you to come back to the Idea Center and check out these different categories. By the way, if you have any questions at any time, please go up to the toolbar at the very top of your screen. If you hover your mouse over, you'll see the toolbar. And let me know in chat what your questions are. Everyone's muted right now. So you can either join my online open to all tools for librarians using NoveList, or check out these 10 ideas, or maybe both. But this is going to give you a variety of ways to use NoveList, whether it's awards lists for displays, serving book discussion groups, or maybe creating one, and entertaining in terms of not just entertaining, but offering book displays, which can be entertainment because readers are browsers, but using awards and book display ideas together to get those books off your back shelves into the hands of patrons and checking them out while being an interesting learning opportunity. All right, with that said, again, that's www.ebscohost.com/NoveList. Let's go into NoveList Plus right now and talk a little bit about some of the high points. And then if you're interested in a longer session, you can always go to training.ebsco.com, which I'll show you at the very end. And from our support site, you can sign up for live classes or recorded classes that you have available on demand. So with this brief session for Discus, you can see that there are categories you'll probably want to come back to. award winners, and audiobooks are also at the bottom of this basic search screen. So let's go ahead and just show you. This section has to do with appeal factors. Appeal factors are where your user connects with a book. Do they love complex books? Do they love descriptive writing? These are appeal factors that you can mix and match from the Appeal Mixer. The basic page browses genre. So if I click on ages birth to age 8, it opens a genre map, and you can see the different genre from the drop-down, or scroll down and use the carousels right and left to see titles. And if you want to hover over the title, it looks like that's got an issue. I'm not sure why. Probably I need to refresh the screen for that. So I will come back and do that in just a second. All right, bear with me for just a second. I apologize. I'm going to switch over to Hidden Gems again and refresh my screen. All right, we'll go back into NoveList Plus. I apologize. I probably brought that up before the session and then timed out. This is what you should be seeing now, the NoveList homepage. Let's go ahead and try that again with the genre map. And then any book jacket you see, if you hover over it, you can get a descriptor of that book and even add it to the folder. So you can see fiction. Here it's saying birth to age 8, fiction. And birth to age 8 would be your picture books, your board books, and early chapter books. Scrolling down the home screen, and these are areas you'll probably want to come back to, whatever interests you the most. Featured read-alikes, so I can find a featured read-alike for the Tea-Girl of Hummingbird Lane. I can click on that title, really the cover, and these are the read-alikes on the right-hand side. So once clicked on, I was just hovering over to get the information. I'm really doing a title search when I click on it, and then I can see the read-alikes on the right-hand side. And that's true for titles, it's true for series, and for authors. As I scroll down with a title search, this is a really good help for collection development and acquisitions. So if you're in that role, you have, when you do a title search, and you could just run a title search from the find field here as well. We clicked on the cover art to go to a title search. That's another way. But you can see the reviews from journals, more than likely you're familiar with, and then tabs for audiobooks. So audiobooks that support this title. More about this book, if it's won awards or and have featured articles, that would be in lists of articles. More about the book is the indexing and the subject headings, which are all hyperlinked. So if I wanted to find more books on the adoption of Chinese children, I can click on that. I've run that new search as a subject heading, and I see 5 results. So right now what we're doing is we're just kind of scrolling through the many features on the home page, and then because of our 30-minute session, we can't dive deeply into all of them, but if you have a particular interest, let me know. And I urge you to see and show your staff the Keeping Up pages. This is keeping up on various genres. And in fiction and nonfiction, we have a wealth of different genres we can explore. So let's say I am not familiar with YA Lit. I need a little background information. What you can do is click on any of those Keeping Up pages, and you'll see descriptions about young adult literature, genre-based RA, so these are recommended reading lists created by novelist librarians. Also, for fans of, and I'll show you more details on that, but if I click on any of these, I'll get to a reading list. Latino Teen Lives is the theme here. So take the time to scroll through the home page and find what interests you. On the left-hand side, you will see genre by age group. So here I'm seeing adult fiction with genre for fans of, maybe I'm a fan of Outlander. If I click on Outlander or The Girl on the Train or Game of Thrones, I'll come to a reading list that are like read-alikes for those features. If I look at nonfiction, particularly in adult, you'll see the range of genre for nonfiction. So this is narrative nonfiction. In narrative nonfiction, you might see books about food writing, but not cookbooks. Here's subgenre. As I hover over on, say, sports and competition, maybe I want to look at college sports and come to a result list of recommended reading, and then I still have those other categories, subgenre for sports over on the right-hand side. Let's run a search right now, and I'm going to use keyword. Keyword describes a plot. So we'll use that example of female detective, and I don't have to and anything. If I'm looking for a book on math for a high school student, all I have to type in is math, and then I can narrow by the age group and even reading level. But right now I'm just running a quick search showing you that I'm going to default on books, and I have over 2,200 titles here. Now I can narrow using the limiters on the left by age group, by fiction or nonfiction. I'll get both if I don't delineate that particular area. I have additional limiters here where you can click on that and explore those. There are limiters you'll find on the advanced search page, which I'll get into in just a minute. And the publication date shows while we don't have lots and lots of older books, most of them are very modern titles, we do have many, and this one goes back to 1864. So I can just update those results, limiting to adult fiction, keeping the age, the range the same, and update those results. And it did narrow it some way. In some way, you can see that 1864 is the female detective described right here. Now, I'm sorting by relevance by default for Discus. I can see newest books by clicking on Date Newest. And you'll see forthcoming books. So this is coming out next month. And you will see forthcoming books with Date Newest. Now, if I were doing an author search like James Patterson and then sorted by Date Newest, I would find his forthcoming books. So that's very good for your regulars who have a favorite author who writes prolifically and they want to know what's coming out. What can they expect? It's also good for ordering purposes. While we're over here, I wanted to show you there are 4 views. We're defaulting to the detailed view, which runs vertically and has a lot of detail, including here the series and the volume in that series. But if you wanted to print these, I'd go with compact or brief. If you click on grid, that's a horizontal display. It doesn't have quite as much detail as your default, which is detailed. All right, and you can switch to what's the most popular book in this area, searching female detective, etc. I could search by popularity and have a whole new sort by list. Mary Mary by James Patterson comes up. And where this is showing series, volume 11 of the Alex Cross series, look what happens when I click on series. I can click on Alex Cross and find the Alex Cross series in reading order, which is a huge help. If someone came to the desk and said, what's the 4th volume in the Alex Cross series, I could run a search by series name or even by author Let's do that. If I see the series outright, obviously, like Alex Cross novels, I can click on that and find them in reading order. And this is the result I'm looking for. There are 2 James Pattersons. And please note that it will default to books. You can see all the titles of audiobooks under James Patterson. Again, this is sticking to date newest. We can see all the series. And so he's written multiple series. If the question is, what's the second in the series, The Woman's Murder Club, I can just click on that title and find the titles in reading order. So volume 2 is Second Chance. You still have the series read-alikes on the right-hand side as well. And then at the top, you have more about this author for many of our authors. And you have lists and articles. So what kind of supportive content in NoveList has to do with James Patterson? So there's an author write-up and then materials that mention this author. These could be read-alikes. Let's go to Stuart Woods, and you'll see that this is describing the genre, why readers like this author, and then read-alikes for Stuart Woods. There's a lot of linking that goes on in NoveList Plus. When you go down that rabbit hole, so to speak, and find all this great linked content, you can just go back to NoveList Plus to clear the screen. But before I do that, notice this, if this article, this read-alike for Stuart Woods interests me, I can print it, I can email it, I can save it, and I can add it to a folder. That is a temporary folder that I'm adding it to. If I don't go up here, and I'll show you this in detail, if I don't sign in, I will lose that content. If you have questions about folders or alerts or any of the features that we cannot get into today simply because of time, one option is to go to Help and then Query Folder. And when I click Search, I'll have some choices, or you can just scroll down. This isn't a terrifically long list, but it is a helpful list, and it will give you information about my folder, using folders. Personal account is your folder. These are printable handouts, and you can use them in your library as well. All right, so we've talked about what's on the screen, kind of the what. We're looking at the how to search. We've looked at different genre and how to search. Don't forget that NoveList Plus has this beautiful area called audiobook recommendations. So if I have a favorite audiobook reader, maybe my kids love June Whitfield, then I can see all of the books that she's been a part of in the narration. Audiobooks even have listen-alikes. So how do they sound, which books sound like this version of Peter Pan? What we're seeing on the left-hand side beneath the chief box of limiters are additional limiters, and these limiters are the appeal factors. So if I like an engaging writing style or descriptive, I want to narrow this list by descriptive, I have one result. Okay, and there's more. As I scroll down, you'll see what items I've put in my folder. Now, speaking of audiobooks, I want to go to the advanced search page and encourage you to come back here and do some searching. You can be very creative. You can add keywords and search terms. You can even narrow them to a specific field, like finding them in a review. If you're looking for a read-alike, a read aloud, that might be found in a review. You can say, I want to read aloud on bullying. Read aloud is a term you'd find in a review. Maybe also, let's say I want to find it on bullying. And if I select a field, that's fine. It'll search bullying in the abstract, as well as the title, author, keyword, and subject heading. I don't see any questions in chat right now. We have about 6 minutes left. I will stay after the session if you have additional questions, but know that you can ask me a question anytime. Let's look at the limiters on the advanced search page. This is pretty exciting. You can see a variety of limiters like forthcoming. If I want to search, again, a specific author, I'm going to clear these. If I want to search Nora Roberts and see if she has anything forthcoming, I can do that. I can choose the author field there. I can choose by audience level, and this is important even if you're using Lexiles. So Lexiles are, let's scroll down to Lexile for a second. Here they are. So Lexiles are reading levels similar but different. I can contrast them with accelerated reader book and interest level. It's really finding a comfort level for your reader based on a grade in school. So these Lexile ranges are based on, say, a reading level in school. And I would tie that in to my reading level. The reason is, if I choose, say, a 4th grade reading level here, and I want to find a book on horses, a lot of adult novels are written at the 4th, 5th, 6th grade level. So to make sure that I'm limiting, if I'm not in NoveList K8, if I want to limit to my 4th grade age appropriate, then I'd also want to choose the audience level. And again, you can come up to help and query Lexiles. Let's go ahead and do that to show you a Lexile range grid. So this is a printable grid of your reading levels and ranking. The text measures are what you want to look at. Common Core is a little bit stretched or higher level, but say we were looking at a 4th grade reading level here, you can expand it to, say, 3rd to 5th as well. But going on with these limiters, you have document types, and there are a lot of different document types in NoveList Plus, so check these out. You can choose just to find picture book extenders, let's say for your story time and children's librarians, or maybe feature articles to find all the feature articles because they vary so much, from mystery writers in Canada to how to help the reluctant reader. You have author's nationality. If everything else is cleared and I just choose the country, I'll find a reading list when I click search of all the Afghani authors or all the Chilean authors in NoveList Plus. I also can narrow by author's gender, by cultural identity, and I urge you to just scroll through here. Everything from ancient Roman to Asian American and so much more, Asian Australian. If you want to limit by cultural identity, this is a good limiter. Accelerated Reader, I mentioned, has its limiters, as well as you can choose to limit by Dewey range. And these are the audiobook limiters, especially this popular one when, as summer comes up and your patrons are taking road trips, they may say, I need a book that'll last 6 hours, and it's on horses. You can enter horses at the top of the page in the Find field and find an audiobook that matches. The audio format, the abridgment, there are even audiobooks with samples available that you can listen to and reviews available. So that's a lot to explore on the advanced search page. And just to finish up our session today, I encourage you to spend some time on award winners on the audiobooks page, because they will show recent awards, awards by genre, by age group, and there's over 700 awards in NoveList Plus, so check out the Browse All. Under Especially For, there's a great Reader's Advisory Toolkit and Working with Youth, which is also in NoveList K8, the Working with Youth component. For staff training, this NoveList Toolkit has success stories, it has training ideas for your staff, and you can just add these to a folder. Keep in mind, if you don't have a folder on the system, you may want to create one. They're great for reference work. It's a great way to show your patrons how to save their reading lists. And all you have to do is go to create a new account and fill in the information, create your own username and password, and click Save Changes. But if you don't save the items that are in your temporary folder, you'll lose them. You can go up to your temporary folder at any time and choose what you want to print, to email, or to save to, say, a thumb drive or a local drive. So that's under Especially for Reader's Advisory. The Working with Youth page has a lot to offer, and with programming for summer coming up, check the programming on the lower left and get some ideas of what you can offer your library. And your summer reading theme can be enhanced by using some of those program ideas. Finally, quick links to all the different types of features in NoveList Plus. If any of these are items you'd like to dive into before we close, let me know in chat or I'll stay after. And then help sheets. How do I get alerted when there's new content? How do I print, save, or share my results, etc.? All right, so with that, we want to finish up at the very bottom where you link to the support site. This is the URL I gave at the beginning, help.ebsco.com. Under Training, you can sign up for upcoming NoveList for Readers Advisory 1-hour classes, tools for librarians using NoveList, or NoveList Tools, I believe it's called. That's a half-hour class. Or view the recorded sessions of those here on View Recorded Sessions. We also offer a K-8 class every month. We're offering shorter classes for Discus, knowing how time-pressed most people are. This is a 30-minute class. We're even offering some 15-minute classes coming up, so I hope you'll check the offerings that come from the Discus team and join us again. Don't forget, tutorials are available for your LibGuides or for your websites and a host of other features. Too much to show you right now. But keep in mind that with the institution type here, you can pick your institution type. You can find NoveList. And then there are help sheets and guides, user guides, and how to train and promote on NoveList. So you can go to See All. This is showing us the Idea Center that we started with on www.ebscohost.com/novelist. I hope this session has been helpful. I hope you take 2 or 3 things at least away with you that you want to try out. But I'm here right now for a few more minutes, so what kind of questions do you have? I'd love to hear them. Please place them in chat or ask to be unmuted. Does this 30-minute format work out for you? Does it give you a good starter with NoveList? And by the way, it's always a pleasure to talk with you. I'd love to know what part of South Carolina you're joining in from. I'm actually joining in from Southwest Florida, where I have a home office when I'm not on the road, but I train throughout the Southeast in about 13 states. If you're finished with the session and have no other questions or requests from me, please feel free to go to the X in the upper right-hand corner and a WebEx training evaluation will pop up. It takes about a minute, has 5 questions, and I thank you in advance. It's been a pleasure working with you. My name is Pamela Erickson, and I'll stay muted for another 2 or 3 minutes and see if you have any comments. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.